Nupur Pathak, the organizer of 2 days Leadership Summit 2024, for inviting me to share my views on ethical, inclusive, and sustainable leadership. As I was hearing, mostly it is regarding the business and economical, how to run. That is wonderful. But I don't know. I'm a monk of the Ramakrishna Mission, so I don't know about the business. But this is a great topic, I should say. It's a great topic. And particularly very relevant for the nowadays, so the situation. So I will give a general view of the leadership. The moment we utter the word leader, immediately the personality is like a king or like a army military general or a revolutionary or a political leader, famous political leader, all that comes in our mind. But leadership means leading a group of people according to the situation. It may be very temporary but very effective leadership. Particularly, a head of the family is also a leader. The head of the family, he is taking decision, and that is effective for all the members of that particular family. So obviously, he is the leader of that family. Suppose he doesn't know the value of education, and he thinks that all the children of that family, all people, members of the family, should go to earn money. And he says, from my family, no one should go to attend school or education. Then the members of that particular family will suffer. So the leader of a family is also very, very effective because a family is a part of a society. That is a unit. So leadership must be from there. So how it is possible? We will come to that. The head of the family is a leader, and his decisions is also effective not only for the family but also for the society. So we have to be careful. The leadership, it doesn't mean a very covetous thing. The person is leading and thousands are following. That is one thing. But the small unit also, there the leadership should be very, very effective, and understanding should be very clear, and that particular person should know what he is going to do and what he should not do. Not only for his personal or family interest, but every individual human being is a part and parcel of the human society. Thinking on that, a leader should proceed. That is the basis of the leadership. Secondly, the very temporary effective leadership, that sometimes we see that there is a fire has broken up. All people are confused what will happen, what we are going to do. Then suddenly someone will come forward and will say, hey, my neighbors, line up over here, bring the water from there and pour over here and douse the fire, and he will take the leadership. And because of his commanding tone and the way he leads, to convince all the people, they are not his employees, they are all there. So because of his leadership, all people come together in the neighborhood and they work together and solve the problem. That is also leadership. Very effective leadership, but temporary leadership. After the problem is over, they forget him. Of course, sometimes they'll say, oh, he was a wonderful person, and because of him, we could solve this problem. So leadership means this is also very, very effective in the human society. So this type of personalities are also necessary, so they are also leaders. Teacher is a leader of that classroom. Whatever the teacher says, that goes to the minds of the young kids, young people. So teacher must be very, very careful. Not only what he is teaching, how he is teaching, how he is behaving, his dress, the body language, everything goes, and that imprints the permanent impression on those young kids who afterwards are going to make the human society. So that is also a leader. When we think of solving some problem in the society, and we think that we should rectify the branches of a tree or make the fruit, but we forget that the root cause, these are the roots. A teacher is a very basic. A parents, particularly the head of the family, in India, particularly in Asia, head of the family is very important. Whatever he says, all the people of that family, they follow. Nowadays it is the small families are coming up, that too in the city levels. In the villages still that families are there in big number. And so we have to be careful. So when we want a good result in our educational field or political field or economical field, social places, these are the leaders. These people are coming up. So someone becoming CEO and the chief of the functionary of that office or a great factory or a business, he's an individual coming from a family background, coming from some culture. So if the training is there proper, how to live with all, understanding all, then he can become a very good leader afterwards in the society. That is the idea. Now this teacher must be very, very careful. Teachership is not a job, it is a mission. That one should understand. The teacher is not a job, it is a mission. And the mission, man-making mission. The humans, I am creating a human. And who is a human? Very considerate, very understanding. And he knows that she knows that different type of situation comes and I have to handle it properly. So the situation cannot become a problem. It is not a problem that comes to me. I face a situation. Then I know how to handle the situation. And if I can properly handle the situation, there is no problem. So we can't handle the situation, it becomes a problem, then I suffer and make anyone around me, connected with me, suffer. So we have to give these teachings from the beginning itself. When they say catch them young means, you have to give this leadership training to each and everyone. Every individual is a leader of his own life. How he or she is going to develop his own life, that also is an effective to this human society. We have to keep that. Every individual is a part and parcel of a human society. If he or she is not rightly growing up, then that is going to affect the society afterwards. This is, a teacher must take a very good step to develop a leadership among the students. And leadership is pure understanding, clear understanding, and capacity to solve that problem. Now comes the cultural leadership. We forget that a director of a movie is a great teacher, is a great leader. And whatever the message he is sending out through that movie, it is affecting the whole society. One must be very, very careful. Just to become successful in economically, and some of the stories we are making and then throwing to the society, and then some people are going, the society must be matured enough to accept or to reject, to see or not to see. We are just making and giving it to them. It is up to them. No, it should not be. You are also responsible because you are influencing people, particularly the movie, the drama, the writers. They are very, very influential. The French Revolution, it was because of the philosopher. So obviously, someone somewhere writing a book or they're putting that into a drama and then into the movie. Movie has so much effect, and nowadays it goes to everywhere. You know, I was in Arunachal Pradesh, and there, now we had a school over there, nearly 500 students, still it is there. Narottam Nagar is the border of the Nagaland and the Burma, that is Myanmar. So inside the jungle. And nearby, 10 miles away, there is a small township. They have a college. And the principal of the college, he was from UP. He was the principal. One gentleman came to me and said, Swamiji, I am so much insulted today. And I feel like resigning and going away from here. And what happened? Well, the students, they came and they said that you have to give us buses so that we will go for the picnic, and today itself you have to make it. He said, I cannot, because this is a process. I have to apply to the authority. They will sanction the money, give the permission. Then only if anything happens to you, then what will happen? I have to contact the security people also. They will also give the permission. This is a long process. Wait for some time. You have applied to me or requested me. I am going to work on it. And that boy slapped him. And he told, hey, what is it? Then afterwards, I contacted the local political leader. He was known to me. I told, can you please intervene and talk to those boys, what they are doing? And they're very simple type of people, the local, the tribals. And then when he went to talk to them, and hey, why you slap? No, this in the big city they do it. Big city, you have not visited any place. Where have you seen that? Not in movie. In Bombay, in the colleges, they all the time behave that way with their professors. And sometimes they will be slapping them, sometimes they will be criticizing them, making them buffoon. So that movie we have seen. And we think that that is the way students should behave with the professors. This is the way one should understand. You are sitting in corner of an India surrounded with modernities. You do not know the way you are developing a movie, giving it to the society, earning a lot of money, appreciation because of the caricatures that you have done through the students and making the principal and the professors of buffoons. You are destroying the whole rank and file of education policy. That teacher should be respected as a guru and a highly respected person. If that is not there in the mind of the students and this type of things happen, he will never ever get this message that because I am not naming that particular movie, that happened. So who is a leader then? This cultural person is also a great leader, and that is affecting the whole society. It is not only the economical growth or the wrong steps taken in the economy and the people are suffering. That is one part of it. But human means is the different ways he is growing up. So obviously, as they call sustainable, inclusive leadership means it should begin from the beginning. So then after this, the cultural leadership comes economical or industrial leadership, business leadership. So we have to understand two things. As a business philosophy, that I gave a talk long back in Bangalore. What is that business philosophy? There are two types of mindset in those who are in the business. One, they are industrialist. They think for the future. But they are traders' mentality. Though they are also sometimes called as industrialist because they have some industry, because they are producing some materials, etc. But the mentality is a trader. Now they were selling the cars, motor cars. Now they don't get the profit. They stop selling that and then they go to sell rice or potatoes. Why? That is profitable. What these people will do? The 10,000 people that they were working, the engineers, and they know only how to develop a car, how to make a car. Now you cannot simply ask them to ship to the field and grow potatoes for you. Then what they will do? Oh, I don't care. I go for the profit only. Let them do whatever they want. That is not a business leadership. So leadership, that is called only traders' mentality. Traders, they only go for the profit. Majority of us, we are actually at a trading mentality. Long back, many of you must be knowing, the Swami Vivekananda was traveling and he was sailing, and in the same ship that Jamshedji Tata was also there. That's a very famous the incident that happened. And he had a talk with Swami Vivekananda, who inspired him. Hey, why you are doing like this? Taking the raw material to the Europe, and then after making it finished product, you are bringing it back and selling to your own country. Why? You better have it in such a way that the raw material is with you. Now finish it and sell it to the Europe. Bring money from there. Don't take the money from here. So that afterwards, the Jamshedji Tata, he also acknowledged that. That was a great discussion, and it is in the biography of Swami Vivekananda. The leadership means this idea, this thought, how I am going to help the society, and that is also permanently. I have to create not only the demand in the minds of the people, I have to create the situation by that they can also utilize it properly. So that is the business, that leadership. This is very, very important because that is the main root. The root is the economy. If we look at a human society, you will find it is a tree, and the tree is standing, surviving on roots. If the roots are shallow, it will fall down, it will die. The roots should be strong. And that is the root is the economy of a society. So who are these people? In a traditional way, they call it Vaishya. Who are those Vaishyas? And they say they should not be satisfied by earning. They should go on earning. And at the same time, they should have the capacity to donate, help others. That is also there, the human qualities. But they should be capable to earn money in a proper way, nice way, not by cheating. The profit doesn't mean that you have to cheat people and have the profit. No, that's the wrong way. And you cannot survive. So leadership training, leadership summit that we are attending, we are thinking, we are expressing our views, the leadership based on humanity. If the humans are not there, then with whom we are doing the business? You cannot do business without human being. In the pivotal position, it is the human actually, ultimately. The one must be careful, and that is the reason I started with the family leadership and then teacher leadership and group leadership like this. Now this business There's the economy, that is the root. And when the economy is strong, then the society also grows very properly, nicely. Of course, the leaders of that society should be careful, as our ancestors were. India is a beautiful country, the wonderful country, a blessed country. As Swami Vivekananda said, that is a Pavitra Bhumi. Why? Because if we look at the nature, the Himalaya in the northern part is protecting the very cold, chill wind from the north. And not only that, it is stopping the southern breeze carrying the water and then making them to rain over there. And there are 7 rivers, we always take the name. If you have noticed that the Brahmins, the pujaris, the priest, they are purifying the water before the puja. And what do they say? Gangecha, I am breaking so that you can understand. Gangecha, Jamuna Chaiva, Godavari, Saraswati, Narmade, Sindhu, Kaveri, Jalismin Sannidham Kuru. So what are the mantras? Names of the rivers. Only rivers. When the priest is saying in such a way, they say the people don't understand, they think it's a great mantra from the Veda. It is nothing like that. It's a simple 7 rivers. Why they are remembering? Because we are grateful nation. Indians are very grateful. Why we are grateful to the rivers? Because of those rivers, our land is fertile. And we look at the Himalaya, we bow down to Himalaya and say, Deva Bhumi, Devalaya, Himalaya. Why? Not that it is just a hill, just a mountain. But the mountain is protecting us. That's why we are grateful. We know it is a mountain and nothing else. As because that mountain is protecting us, we consider is as the highest, that is Devata. And we try to protect that. So that is the conception. So the humanity developing in that way. Because of this, our economy grew up very strongly. A time was there when the whole world, they sailed to India. They wanted to reach the shore of India. Why? As a tourism? No. Because India was highly developed, not only in economy, but also in culture and philosophy. And there the point comes, the moment the money comes, as a human being, we think, oh, I should enjoy the money. And how to enjoy? Only body. Now drink and eat and dance, and these are the things we know. To enjoyment means what? And I should have every city, everywhere, one apartment, one building, and I should enjoy. I cannot reach over there, but still I should have. And now, huge building, only 2 people, husband, wife and 1 son, but huge building, whereas thousands of people are on the streets. They don't have place to. I am spending so much because I am rich. That should not be. Uneducated they are. They are not cultured people. So one should be very, very careful. How it is possible? Education. So first is the economy, and when the wealth comes, to control the mind, we need proper education, man-making, character-building education. That is all leadership. The leader will think in this way. The money is coming. Now that will make us, we won't know what we should do with so much of wealth. Obviously, we have to control our own passion, our mind, our desires. We have to purify it. Whatever we need, we should need, but we have to control so that the human society is not getting destroyed. And for that is education. The education is the stem. And then comes the branches. Those branches, so many varieties of leaves, they are culture. The culture develops in its own way. Each and every individual is a separate person. So naturally, his thought, his way of expression, his songs, his poetry, all will be different. His dresses will be different. Food habit will be different. That is culture. Different culture should be there. Not that we have to make one culture, one religion, one language. That is boring. It should be variety. And that is the beauty of the tree. But the best thing of the tree is the fruit or the flower. And that is spirituality. That is religion. So we jump to the spirituality, jump to the religion without taking care of the root, that is economy. And without taking care of the stem, that is education, that gives us strength to control. There are temptations, but we should not. We have to control. And that is called cultural people. A cultured person means he knows all bad words, but he won't utter it because he has the control. So these are the basis of the leadership. And then we have to understand the culture. So inclusiveness. That inclusive, we are sustainable also. Varieties of people, different type of people. But I have to channel his main thing for my achievement. As a businessman, for that. A politician, for his goal. As a spiritual leader, for his goal. So I know so many varieties of people from different culture, but we should go together. And that is the beauty of India. So many varieties of people. From the northern people, they're all the very the clear skin and the fair-looking people. You go to the south, is the dark, the looking people. And food habit, different. Dresses, different. That doesn't matter anything. India is, as a whole, is proceeding. Why? Because that was the great leadership, the Vedic leadership. They taught us in this such a way, the different people, but we all go to the same goal. So this is called leadership. This leadership, they understand and then they give a channel and we all proceed to that. And after this comes political leadership. Here obviously one must be very, very careful. Why? It's the power. And we all know power corrupts. And absolute power corrupts absolutely. It is almost impossible to control oneself. Even the great personalities in the Vedic age, in the different stories that there was a great king named Nahusha. The Nahusha was a great soul and he was a great leader. A time came suddenly the Indra, the king of the gods, he did something wrong, so they had to vanish him. So who will be the king? For some period of time, they thought it is the Nahusha. They approached Nahusha and Nahusha became the king of gods and king of human being also. So this is the way the story goes. He was the king of the both. Can you imagine the courageous position? He was the king of gods and king of human being in both places, Sarga and Martha, that Nahusha. The moment he became powerful, naturally, some people, they start visiting him and slowly, they spoiled his mind and they told that why you should walk. All the time you should be in the palanquin. People should carry you. And why ordinary people? The rishis should carry you. And what they are doing over there? Sitting under a tree and meditating whole day. Ask them to carry you. Wherever you like to go, they should carry the palanquin. And naturally, the corruption came and he became egoistic. He asked those rishis also, And they followed, okay, you are the king, whatever you say. And among those rishis, there was Ashtabakra. His body, right from the birth, is little, it was not in a normal body. So obviously when he used to walk, carrying the load of the palanquin, because of the body, the palanquin is to move. Now these people came and whispered, look at this, sir. You are a great king, king of the gods and king of the human being. But look at this man. He is not carrying properly. Give a kick to him. And because of the terrible ego, by that time he had this nahusha, he forgot what actually he is going to do. He kicked the holy body of the Ashtabakra Muni. And the Munis gave immediately the curse to him. Oh, you have become so egoistic. Now you go and live a life of a serpent. That is the way. We must be very, very careful. We are discussing about the leadership. A leader must be very careful about the sycophant around him. Political leaders must be very, very careful. You will wonder, I don't have much time, but in the Ramayana, it's an excellent leadership that we find in the Sri Ramachandra. We consider him as God, that is good, but he's a great leader. If you notice in Ramayana, the Sri Ramachandra is never ever mentioning that you should go and meditate, you should work for others, you should worship. No spiritual teaching or religious advices. What the Ramachandra did, he was actually formatting the human society, and he was advising and generating the leadership. When the Bharata, one of his brothers, you all know the story, he went to the jungle to bring him back. Then the Ramachandra told, look at it. We are the leaders of the society. We are the kings. If we break our vows, don't keep our words, then that will percolate in the whole society. The political leader, a king, an administrator, is the one, whatever he says or does, that affects the whole society, whole country, all people. You can imagine the sacrifice and alertness that person should have. He is not going to see everything everywhere, but he must be aware of it. So Ramachandra, he told to his brother, don't be emotional. I have taken the promise that I must be in the jungle for 14 years to keep the words of my father. And if I go back for this reason, that the mother who wanted that now is repenting and asking me to forgiveness and go back, people won't understand that. You were requesting me, people won't understand that. In the posterity, they will say, oh, this Raghukulas, the family of the Raghus, they also not kept their promises. So we too can break it. This is the leadership. You have to understand, the moment you do anything, that is becoming an example for the ordinary people to follow. So political leadership means is a great leadership, because after that comes spiritual leadership. The political leaders, he is like a father. In the Ramachandra's conversation with the Bharata, and he is asking, you have to know your own people. Are they happy? And how they become happy? You have to be very careful to earn money and to spend money back to the society, so that generates more money, more wealth for those people. And your life must be always sacrificed, alert every moment for the betterment of your subjects. The king is not supposed to have enjoyment. The Indian kings, if we see, they were like that. Afterwards, its situation changed. some people came from a different culture and they were not knowing the basis of all this. Now that is all mixed up. But actually, if you notice, most of them, they were highly educated, highly trained, and highly qualified people. So a political leader must be a very, very qualified person. So we are talking about the leadership, and this leadership, if the political leader is a corrupt person, economy, education, culture, and general life, everywhere the corruption will penetrate. If the subjects are corrupt, know it for sure. It is because of the supreme leader. So one must be very careful. The political leadership, as they always say, everywhere. We find that in the Rig Veda, so ancient Veda, that is the first spiritual book in the human society. There also they are praying to the gods, the supreme gods, oh, please keep our king properly so that he should not forget his own duties. In the Ramayana, we find the rishis, they are telling Sri Ramachandra, you are a king, you are a Kshatriya, you are an administrator. You need not to bother about your spiritual life. You should give 100% of your energy, your mind, your thought for the betterment of your subjects. This is the leadership training. And you must not only protect them, you must see how the economy grow, culture grow, education grow, and they become a holistical, the help should be given to them, so they become truly happy. And when they are happy under your leadership, all their good karmas, as the Hindu, we believe in karma phala, it goes to the credit of the king. You need not to go to temple. You need not to construct temple. You need not to meditate even. But you must be dedicated to perform your work so that all the subjects, they become proper human being and their all good deeds, it will come in your credit. You will go to Brahma Loka, and the way they say. And that is called the Ramayana. These are the teachings. We only think that Rama went and killed Ravana, all this. And that's the way we always think about the Ramayana. Ramayana is a great teaching. The Ramachandra's conversation with the mothers, Ramachandra's conversation with his guru Vashishta, Ramachandra's conversation with his brother, the Bharata, these are the great teachings. And that is the leadership. And finally, it comes the spiritual leadership. The spiritual leadership, without the religion, human being cannot survive. And it is a relation between a fish and water. And a religion and human being is a relation like fish and water. Fish cannot survive without water. But if the water is contaminated, it becomes the death pool for the fish. Similarly, human being cannot survive without religion. And if the religion is narrow, sectarian, then it becomes a tremendous problem for the human society, and human society suffer. So we must have this type of leadership. Now friends, these are the main leadership, 8 leadership. Let me just repeat. This is the head of the family, a temporary effective leadership, a group game leadership like the cricket, football, they are also leaders. And teacher is a leader, cultural leader, economic and industrial leadership, political leadership, and spiritual leadership. Out of these 8, 3 are very important. One is those who are economical leadership, that is called Vaishyas, political leadership, the Kshatriyas, and spiritual leadership, Brahmanas. So these three, they are very, very important. And it must have a check and balance policy. And the leadership, even that there should be a check and balance. Sometimes the spiritual leaders, they become little powerful because of the tapasya they do. Then to check them, another one will come and stop saying, no, you cannot do like this. You have to be docile. And true spirituality means love and unselfishness. In ancient India, the kings were always having a priest who is to control him. Because the king means the manpower and also money power. And that corrupts. So obviously, king should not behave the way that his subjects should suffer, but the subjects are not having the capacity to go to king and rectify him. So it is the guru. So each and every king used to have. So check and balance is very, very essential. Why I am telling this? This leadership, they must have the top two, the Brahmana and Kshatriya. They should have a balance. Otherwise, it will be stagnated growth. Sometimes we think the spirituality too much, and there is a movement. They said this whole world is a source of suffering. And people started following, oh, it is a source of suffering. So give up, don't work anything. Just take a gerua and shave your head and follow a leader and go and eat in somebody's house. That was a wrong conception. Of course, this world is a source of suffering, but for whom? Who has understood it? When we understand that, then we will take the path of sannyasa. Without understanding, if we take the sannyasa, what happens? We become a hypocrite. We don't earn ourselves anything, but we go on taking everything from the society. We cannot survive without food, without clothing, without shelter. All these things we take from the society without giving them anything. So naturally, we are utilizing the resources of the society without helping the society to grow it. And if the majority, most of the people are doing like that, what will happen? The weak economy. And those people, in the name of religion, they'll be hypocrites. What they say, they don't behave. So that is also the problem in the leadership. So spiritual leadership must be very, very carefully taken. When they say something, that is of course the great words. Ahimsa, that is the great word. Paramadharma, in Mahabharata is said, Ahimsa Paramadharma. But in the Mahabharata, great war. Why? Swadharma. The leader must understand what is my responsibility and what I am going to do. I must achieve that. And inclusiveness, this is my responsibility. I must do it. Can you heat the room heater? It's too cold here in Chicago, very cold now. So this we have to understand in the leadership, this is very, very important. Now here the spiritual leader must be ethical. And what is ethics? Morality. And what is morality? I will quote Swami Vivekananda. He says, according to Swami Vivekananda, morality is that which is unselfish. What is morality? Morality means unselfishness. And you know what is God? Again, Vivekananda, he gives the definition of God because we have clear ideas about the God. God means having so many hands. God means the light is coming out. God means he is floating on the air. It may be, I don't know. But the God means unselfishness. Swami Vivekananda said, unselfishness is God. And when a person declares that he is a religious person, he is a spiritual person, particularly religious leader, from whatever the faith it may be, whatever the path he has followed, he must be unselfish. If he is not unselfish, that means he is not a spiritual leader. He may be somebody, a social leader, economical leader, a political leader, whatever. He is not a spiritual leader. The spiritual leadership must, the only quality, whether he is having the certificates from any university or not, it doesn't matter at all. But is he unselfish? Unselfishness is God. And if you are a spiritual leader going towards God, you may call God in whatever name you like, but unselfishness is the basis. So, yardstick of understanding a spiritual leader, unselfishness. And the moment he is unselfish, he is full of love. Because unselfishness generates love. How people will know that I am unselfish? Expression is love. Love for everyone. And this leader influencing all others. And that is the reason in India, religion was the main casket for social life. Swami Vivekananda said, the social life is in religion only. And religion doesn't mean all the practices that we see. No, it is not religion. It's only beginning of the religion. Religion means realization. Again, Swami Vivekananda, I'm quoting. Religion is realization. What to realize? The oneness of all. And then what happens when I realize that? I become completely unselfish. But what selfishness should I have? Everything that I see is nothing but the expression of that God. And then what comes out in my life as an expression of the realization? If I declare that I have realized God, how people will understand that? Love that will emanate. In my behavior, in my talk, in my thought, it should be only love. And love, L-O-V-E, is God. Love we are having, but that is very small, only for our kith and kin, for our family, for our nation. But that should break and embrace. That is the spiritual personality. And influencing all other leadership. And that's why they say a business person, a business leader must be truthful. Business doesn't mean that telling lies. And nowadays some people, they think telling lies in politics means a great political leader. Wrong. Stick to the truth. Otherwise, it is a temporary gain you may get, but you lose all respect in the eyes of the people. So you are not a leader. Then you have to take the muscle man to tell people, oh, you are a great leader. You have to terrify the people to tell you, oh, you are a great leader. Wrong. So leadership also depends on spirituality. Business also depends on spirituality. And spirituality is nothing but love. So leadership is a total by sustainable leadership is on the basis of the love. I am going to help the humanity by developing some product. And that will help the humanity first. And as because I am developing it, so obviously I need the money. For that I am charging, and there is a cost. People are there working with me. I should look after their family too. So the business leadership should see as a big family. His workers and their families, their good, everything should be under the consideration. Otherwise, a true leadership is not there. You can lead a business, you can earn some money, but no, it is not by that way becoming a very successful. So unselfishness generates love for all, which is the basis of inclusiveness. Now friends, I will conclude with Swami Vivekananda's the definition of a leader. He said to become a leader, you should have 3H. And this 3H formula, they always say, what are the 3H? A leader should have a heart to feel. What is the problem of the people? How I can solve it? I am a political leader and I see the people are suffering because of this reason. The basis is the education. I should give them proper education. So he feels it. After feeling that, maybe he will be expressing in his lecture or in his writing, and there he stops. He is not a leader. The first is the heart that feels the problem. Then it is the head that thinks how to solve the problem. That is the leader. He must have a heart to feel and head to solve the problem. This is the way I can solve this problem. And then finally, it is the hand that should work to translate that thought into action. So H, 3H formula, heart, head and hand. So this leadership in every field, economic or political or spiritual or social, everywhere, these are the three things. If we follow, we become truly not only satisfied but also and happy, but also a blessed person who has truly helped the society, thousands of people, to live happily. And he is God himself. The people will remember him all through. He will become Amritasya Putra, Amritasya Putri. Why? The son and the daughter of immortality. How? Because the posterity, generation after generation, they will remember you. They will remember you. It is not the physical sustaining. You are living in the hearts of millions. And that is the goal of leadership. Only for a few days living and then doing this and that, then people will forget. So many rich people came. At the time of Lord Buddha, there were Srishtis. Now, can you remember any name of the Srishtis? They were all very rich people, very influential people. Where are they now? So, you should be remembered by the history and generation after generation, a living way they should think, oh, he was that person. That is the ultimate goal of the leaders. Thank you, friends. Thank you, Nupur. I don't know whether you are there or not. It must be the night now at your place in India. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Swamiji. And this was so enlightening and thought-provoking. I still remember what you talked about, the 3H aspects of a leader: heart, head, and hand. Uh, one of the three is always missing, I think, in practice.
Yeah,
So,
that's why it is not effective.
on that, yeah, on that note, there's one question from Badri that you can perhaps take in couple of minutes. Badri asks, what strategies or practices do you recommend for aspiring leaders to continuously improve and develop their leadership skills throughout their career to become successful leaders? I guess the 3H.
Yeah, Badri, the first thing that, as you know, there are different fields are there. So you have to choose which field you are going to become a leader in that particular field. Cultural leader, political leader, or the economical leader, or spiritual leader. So you have to take a field. When you choose that, then you have to have a clear understanding what I am going to do. Because a cultural leader has a different field to observe and to practice and to develop. The qualities of a leader is three: understanding the first problem or the things that I'm going to solve, and then finally capacity to solve. These three you are doing, as Swami Vivekananda said, H, H, H. This 3H formula. Apply that. But your preparation should be according to your field. What field that you are choosing, then we can discuss it afterwards if you choose a particular field. Thank you.
So thank you, Swamiji, for such a enlightening talk.